Hi everyone. Have you ever worked on something in your workplace that you have felt extremely connected to? It's like you've literally put all of your effort, your passion, your creativity, it's just almost like it is your baby, and you've gone through the whole process of conceiving the idea through to nurturing it, implementing it, and really just being there during its whole growth and the whole journey of its existence. And I'm wondering about how it feels from a human perspective when there may come a time when that particular work priority is either coming to its natural conclusion in terms of ending, or if it is considered to be the right time to move into the next solution, the next priority, whatever that may be. And that there is some sort of closure, there's some sort of moving on from what it was that you'd put all of yourself into. And so what I'm really curious about is that from a doing perspective in our workplace environments, it can seem quite clean cut. Let's make sure that it's reflected in the planning. Let's make sure that we reflect it in our all the different aspects of being able to resource it, and then we can move forward in terms of putting our conscious commitment and effort into the new emerging priority. But I'm wondering about what happens with the parts of ourselves that we had given into these babies of ours in these workplace environments, and the human experience of having to let it go. And so for me, really what I think is at the core of it is that when we become very attached to something and we give so much of ourselves to something, that it can very easily become part of our identity. And it becomes part of our known structure. It becomes part of our known, familiar, predictable sort of experience. And in that, we can really find our place. We can find our sense of value. We can find our sense of purpose. And we can find our sense of worth. So when that comes to a conclusion in some way, to me there is a very natural human process of grief. There is a human process of acknowledgement and self-honouring of the value in which we have contributed to, and that there is a natural process of impermanence in our experience of life, and that having to move through that transition of letting go is another natural process in the experience of life. It's not necessarily a judgment around failure, success, or anything in between. It is that an acceptance around the perfect timing and the perfect placement of every step in our evolutionary process, that our baby, as we may have carried it and lived it and given ourselves to at that point in time, was absolutely part of the collective story as to how we find ourselves at a new rebirthing process. And so in that rebirth, there'll be new priority that has emerged because of what we've been able to contribute to in the past. And it also gives us the opportunity to rebirth and re-identify in terms of how we can contribute in the new phase and the new cycle that is the natural part of impermanence and evolution. in our workplace environments and in our own personal experiences of growth and expansion. So thank you very much for spending this time with me, and may you have a magical workday every day.